Growing up in the Philippines, I would help my mom cook Filipino food. Later on, when I became vegan, I learned that Filipino food can still be vegan without losing its soul. I wanted to share this discovery with family, friends, and with you.
It's that.
Kain na! Let's eat! Pandesal is a classic Filipino bread roll. I myself as a kid would buy bags and bags of pandesal at our neighborhood bakery. I'm pretty sure they're still there making pandesal every morning. Veganizing pandesal is very simple and easy. For the ingredients, we're gonna need 3 cups of bread flour, and we're gonna reserve a little bit more bread flour for kneading. 1/2 cup evaporated cane sugar, 1 1/4 cup almond milk, 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of evaporated cane sugar to activate the yeast, 3 tablespoons of vegetable shortening. Make sure it's not hydrogenated. I got mine on sale at Rainbow Grocery, which I am pretty stoked about because it also has a butter flavor, but it's all vegan. 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal mixed with 3 tablespoons of water. That will be our egg replacer. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let's get started. I heated my almond milk on the stove for 2 minutes or pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So you basically want a lukewarm almond milk to activate the yeast. So this is 1 teaspoon of yeast. I'm gonna pour that in, and 1 teaspoon of evaporated cane sugar, and set it aside for 15 minutes. You'll see later on they will foam up, and that's when you know that it's ready. We are going to prepare the dry ingredients first. So I'm gonna grab a mixing bowl. Then we're going to mix the flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. Using a whisk, mix them thoroughly. Set it aside. We'll check the yeast. Once the yeast looks like this, it's very foamy, that means it's ready. 15 minutes has gone by and we're ready to add the egg replacement. And then we also add the vegetable shortening. Then you mix it all around. You pour the wet ingredients there, and you just keep mixing using a spatula. Don't worry if it has a lot of lumps because you will have to knead it anyway. The result that we're looking for is to have a nice sticky dough. Once all of the flour is incorporated in the dough, we're ready to knead. So I'm dusting the counter with flour here. Our dough is super sticky still, which is fine. Don't freak out. This is what we want. Right now, I'm not kneading too much yet. I'm just adding flour all throughout so nothing is sticky. And then I'm gonna start kneading. So the basic kneading motion is to grab something towards you and then push it back. And if nothing sticks, then that means that your dough is ready. And we are going to put it in the same container, but let's oil it so that nothing sticks. Lightly oil the surface of the container just so nothing sticks. We put the dough here. Then we're going to switch to the other side to also oil the other side of the dough so nothing sticks. You can set this aside in a humid place. What I'll do is I'll put it inside the oven without turning on the oven. That way it will remain humid and warm in there. If you live in a cold climate, then you can just turn on the oven and heat it at its lowest setting. Turn off the heat, turn off the oven, then you place the dough. So that way you've created a warm environment for the dough to rise. it has doubled its size, and I punched it to just release any air. I'm going to dust the surface here so nothing sticks on the counter. Make sure that you have a thoroughly clean counter. Cut it in half, and then we'll form one of them into a cylinder shape. So it's roughly a cylinder, and I'm gonna keep cutting them in half until you have formed small rolls like this, because you know what? They're gonna double in size. So this is still gonna be a big chunk of pandesal. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other half. So just I keep dividing them into two. We have these shapes now all ready. We're just gonna make them even smoother using both our hands, shaping them like so. Nicely rolled, and I'm going to transfer them on a parchment-lined baking dish so nothing sticks. I'm going to allot a few spaces, probably about 1.5 inches, because they will still grow. We are not ready to bake yet. While the process is very simple, it takes a little bit of time. We want them to rise even more, so we're gonna leave it for another hour. Okay. Once again, there was no heat. I was just making the dough rise inside the oven, and as you could see, they have doubled their size. Our pandesal ready to be baked. But first, this is an optional step, but I highly suggest for you to do this because it's the traditional touch to it, adding breadcrumbs on top. So sprinkle on top. If you couldn't find regular breadcrumbs, what I have here is Italian breadcrumbs that I found at the local supermarket, and will do just fine. On to the last part, which is baking. I set the oven to 400 degrees, and we are going to put this in the oven for about 15 minutes because I like them extra brown on the sides. That's just me. If you just want it regular, 12 minutes should be fine. They're ready. Let me check. Smells so good. We've done it. It's vegan Filipino pandesal, and I can't wait to dig in. I'm gonna give one a try. Let's see, one in front of me. Ooh, look at that. Great as is, or bread, or cashew cheese perhaps, peanut butter. But before that, I'd like to thank you for tuning in and for watching. Once again, my name is Archie at AstigVegan. For more recipes, just go to my blog, AstigVegan.com, and you can also find me on my social media. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, I'm here to prove you that Filipino food can be vegan, delicious, and healthy without losing its soul. Kain na, let's eat!